every turn of this hand, another moment becomes lost, locked in time. Locked in the mind of a desperate girl are 10 terrifying seconds she can't remember. To help her, a man tries to turn back the clock, only to find the shadow of violence hidden in her past. The shock of her own scream in silence, now on Climax.
Scream in Silence. Directed by Paul Nichol. Produced by Edgar Peterson.
You better hurry to the hospital and be found.
Thanks, Mrs. Mahaffey. I'm just leaving. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Doctor.
Hey, Mary, how about this? I'm sorry.
Well, it took you long enough to...
I'm sorry, it broke.
You ever do anything right, Mary? Where's the other bottle?
Callie said you shouldn't drink so much beer.
Only gave you one, huh? Well, you get right back down there and... What are you staring at?
Mary, let me give you a hand.
She dropped them, she can pick them up herself.
Well, where I come from, Mr. Bellison, we do it differently.
Where you come from? Where is that, a prison hospital? Now get this, Dr. Butinsky. When I say keep away from my daughter, I mean it!
No, please! Sorry he acted like that, but it was my fault.
Your fault? What do you mean, your fault? Look, anybody can make a mistake.
I shouldn't have been so clumsy. I'm always doing things wrong. Whenever he blames me for anything, he's got a good reason for it.
Well, let's skip it. Mary, how about a movie tonight after I get off duty?
Oh, I couldn't go out with you. He wants me to stick around whenever my stepmother's working.
But you can't stay shut up in here the rest of your life.
Hurry up and get that beer, Mary.
Please? Please go. If he comes back out...
All right.
You tired, Callie?
I'll survive.
There's more to life than just surviving. I keep trying to tell you that.
Better take him his drink.
Evening, Mr. Bellison.
Evening. How you feel? No better. Still got those funny pains here. Give me a drink, Gene. Well, it's my bar. You don't have to get my wife's permission. Sure, Mr. Bellison.
What'd you do that for?
You know I don't like loud music in here, Kelly.
The customers like it.
Do they? You like the music?
Leave me out of this, Jack, if you don't mind.
Congratulations, Frank. We had at least one customer. Now we got...
I didn't intend to make a federal case out of the music, Callie. That bartender you hired gets under my skin. Or to get rid of him.
Why?
So we can get someone who has a little respect for the owner.
So that's what's eating you. You didn't bow from the waist when you strolled in tonight.
He cheapens the place. He's got no class.
It ain't Gene's fault the bar's run down. It's yours. When did you ever do any work around here to keep me from going to seed?
Can I help it if I'm a sick man?
You're sick, all right. Just sick enough to sit around the house from morning to night drinking beer. While I'm on my feet working 14 hours a day down here.
Well, why don't you let Mary help you? She could wait on tables.
Yeah, we tried that, remember? Some customer smiled at her crooked and she went rushing out of here in tears. I sure hit the jackpot when I married you. 2 years supporting you and that mixed-up kid of yours that can't even get a job.
Oh, Kelly. You're tired. What do you say we close up early, get an extra hour's sleep, huh?
You think that'll make up for 2 years of no rest?
All right, Kelly, all right. I'll wait up for you at home. I can't sleep much anyhow with this.
Take good care of yourself, Mr. Bellison. Pretty rough, huh?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Maybe I could tell you.
Okay. Tell me.
Hello, Mary. Well, take it easy. I didn't mean to scare you.
I didn't think anybody'd be coming out here.
Well, I was kind of hoping maybe you might be standing up here.
Did you just get back from the hospital?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I better go in.
Mary, you have to run away every time I want to talk to you.
No.
Now, why aren't you asleep? Don't you know it's pretty late?
I couldn't sleep.
Is anything wrong?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, something must be bothering you. If you talked about it, it'd help.
Well, that won't change anything. It's my fault I can't keep a job, and talking about it isn't going to make it any better.
Is that what's keeping you awake? Did you lose your job?
Yesterday.
Well, that's no tragedy. I mean, sooner or later, it happens to almost everybody.
3 times in 3 months. Callie says I couldn't even mail a letter and do it right.
What, just like dropping the beer today was your fault according to your father? Look, Mary, nobody's wrong all the time.
I am.
Is that something else your stepmother told you?
No, it was true before Callie came along. All my life, I guess. I just didn't know about it until...
Until what?
Nothing.
Mary. Sit down, please. Oh, look, Mary, don't you realize that, well, people are always ready to put the blame on somebody else's shoulders?
Nobody had to convince me I killed my mother. She'd be alive today if it weren't for me. I could have come straight home from school. I didn't have to stop with that soda. Nobody made me do it.
Well, what does coming home from school have to do with it?
She was on the kitchen floor when I got there. The police had opened the windows. You could hardly smell the gas anymore. My father says if I'd gotten home on time, I could have kept her from doing it.
Mary, how long ago was this?
I was 14. I was old enough to know better.
Well, didn't your father ever tell you the truth?
My mother was dead and I'd broken his heart. That was the truth.
Mary, that's a lie.
No?
Even if he still believes it, it's a lie. Now, look, maybe I can talk to him and help him to see that.
Talk to him?
Well, why not?
Because that won't change anything. What I've done, I have to pay for.
didn't wait up for you last night, Callie. You were so sore at me.
Oh, it's all right, Frank. Guess I was kind of tired, like you said. Anyways, I've been thinking a lot about us. About that whole argument. What we could do about it.
Yeah, couldn't we just forget it?
I don't want to forget it. In fact, I've been wanting to talk to you, Frank, about a couple of things.
Yeah? Like what?
Oh, the way we live, we fight. Mostly the way business has gone to seed. The bar.
What's wrong with the bar?
Well, maybe it was all right 15 years ago.
It was the best-looking bar in this part of town.
Well, things wear out, Frank. Styles change. First thing you know, customers go to new places where the lighting's nice, and they got leather seats in the booths, and the bar ain't all covered with cigarette burns.
We still got people coming regular, Callie.
A handful. But if we give that place a facelifting, we'll get the old customers back and some new ones besides.
Look, it takes money to fix up a bar. We haven't got it.
We could borrow it from the bank. Frank, just think. A brand new neon sign saying Bellison's Bar. A new mirror, soft lighting. Think how you'd feel walking through that door then.
About how much do you think that'd take?
Oh, 5,000 to cover the whole...
5,000? What if we couldn't pay it back?
Well, I'll be taking the gamble, too. I ain't afraid.
Now, look, it's my bar. I'm the one that stands to lose it if we can't pay it back.
When I'm down there doing all the work, it's our bar. But when I ask you for any help, suddenly it's your bar. What I want don't...
Now, listen,
You listen to me, Frank. Either you go along with me on this, or I'm clearing out.
You can't run out on me, Callie. I'm a sick man. You know that. I need you.
Well, this time I need you, Frank. And if you don't come through, I got nothing to stay for.
I don't know. Just so long as you stay. You will stay, won't you?
Just so long you treat me right, that's how long I'll stay.
Well, all right. All right, Kelly. I'll go down and arrange for the money at the bank. You want to go to a movie tonight?
I gotta work at the bar.
Well, then I'll pick you up there after the movie, huh?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Bellis.
Hi, Tony. That's funny.
Well, looks like Callie closed up shop early tonight.
I was supposed to pick her up here right after the movie. Callie? Where are you? Callie? Callie? Jean? That's funny, both of them gone.
Oh, she's probably home by now.
She should have waited. Yeah, she should have waited.
They ask you any questions at the bank about withdrawing the money?
Why should they? It's a joint account.
You gotta get out of here.
You might cross this up and come home early from that movie.
I keep telling myself this ain't wrong.
Callie, just keep telling yourself you got a right to live. Up to now, nobody ever give you a chance.
Callie, what'd you close up so soon for? I went to... What are you...
I'm leaving you, Frank.
Leaving me? With him?
That's right, Mr. Bellison, with me.
It's no good, Frank. What have I got to look forward to? Taking care of you and Mary the rest of my life? I'm no kid. I gotta have a chance.
Think you'll get it with him? He's just a cheap two-bit drifter. What do you think you're gonna live on? What's he gonna use for money? How do you think... Money? Oh, So that's it. It's my $5,000 you're running away with. That's it.
No, it ain't. It's my 5,000, Frank. I earned every penny.
You stole it. That's
I
what
earned
you
it.
did.
Just call it or paid for the last 2 years, Bellison.
That's my money. I'll kill both of you. 5,000 is mine. Get out of
Put that
here.
down, please.
You're to blame for this. I'm fed up with you ruining my life.
No, please, Dad, please, please.
Mary.
Come on now, Callie.
Frank,
Mary.
what did you do?
She's hurt. I have to phone for a doctor. She's hurt. Then I'm gonna phone for the police. You won't get far, Callie.
Bellison, you're not gonna phone anyone.
Oh, yes, I am.
You didn't have to kill him.
I didn't mean to kill him.
Miss Bellison. Mrs. Bellison.
It's Mrs. Mystery.
Is everything all right? Oh, Miss Bellison. Oh, gotta go get the key.
Unpack that thing quick.
Oh, Gene, we can't leave her like this.
I don't know what happened, but you better come with me.
Okay, that'll do it. Take care of this, please. Cover him up and take him out. How is she?
Pretty shaken out.
Bad enough for the hospital?
I'd say so.
Okay, but let her rest for a couple of minutes, huh?
Lay down, Miss Bellison.
I'm so sorry, Miss Bellison. I'm so sorry.
Are you Mrs. Bellison? I'm Lieutenant Hanscom. Would you come in, please? Okay, folks, that's it. Let's break it up. Go home. Go home.
They just told me down at the bar. I couldn't hardly believe it. I was talking to him right here in this room before I went to work. I just don't get it. How did it happen?
Well, we got a pretty clear picture of that, Mrs. Bellison. We had a long talk with your daughter.
Mary? Well, she's Frank's kid. She ain't mine. What's she got to do with it?
She killed him, Mrs. Bellison.
Are you sure?
She's admitted it.
She told you that?
That's right, a complete confession.
Callie? Mary, what happened?
I did it, Callie. I killed him.
I'm glad you got
No, it's all right, Miss Mahaffey. You did the right...
I killed him, Dr. Landry.
Would you take her out, please? Say, Doc, what are you doing here?
Lieutenant, I just heard about this. Look, I know the girl. She couldn't have done it. It's impossible.
She's just confessed the whole thing.
Confessed? Look, I've got to talk to her.
Well, you'll have plenty of time for that, believe me. Plenty. We're booking her for manslaughter.
Mary? You're to come with me now. Did you hear me, Mary? They want to talk to you up in Dr. Conrad's office.
Who's Dr. Conrad?
He's the head of our psychiatric department. He's Dr. Landry's boss. Come.
Landry, the girl has confessed. The only reason she's here in the hospital ward is that shoulder wound. Once it's healed, she'll be transferred to a regular cell. Lieutenant Hanscom does not believe that a psychiatric examination is necessary in the case.
But I do. Look, Doctor, if I didn't think it was so important, I wouldn't be asking you to see her. I know this girl.
I am well aware of that, and I think that may be... Yes, come in.
Mary? Mary, this is Dr. Conrad. He's a friend of mine.
Hello, Mary. Sit down, won't you, please? Thank you.
Now, Mary, when I came to see you yesterday, you wouldn't talk to me.
I told you I killed him. What else do you want to know?
Well, I have some questions, and I want you to answer them today. Dr. Conrad does, too.
Why?
Oh, because we want to understand all the things you told the police. Now, you said you'd gone out without your father's permission on the night he was killed. Where did you go?
For a walk.
Alone?
Yes.
And then when you got back, you found him waiting in the apartment. Now, what did he say?
I don't know. He was just angry, that's all. He was screaming at me.
So you picked up the gun. Now, what was it doing in the living room?
I don't know.
You went for the gun because he was shouting at you?
Yes.
What happened then?
I told them all of this. What else do they want to know?
You said that he tried to take the gun away from you, and that's when you shot him. And then you turned it on yourself and you shot again. Now, why?
I killed him. I had to pay for it.
Mary, you only wounded yourself. Now, when you regained consciousness, were you sorry that you were still alive?
Yes.
And so you confessed because you knew the police would punish you if you did. You want to be punished, don't you, Mary? Mary, I saw you with your father when he was angry, and you didn't stand up to him then. Now, what made you do it on the night he was killed?
I just did it.
You mean you picked up the gun just because he raised his voice?
Yes.
I don't believe you, Mary.
It's true. Please just leave me alone.
Yeah, take her back, nurse.
All right, Doctor.
She's lying, Doctor. She was scared to death of her father, just like she's frightened of everything. And if she'd been driven to the wall that night, she'd have run the way she just did. But she never would have killed.
She confessed, Landry.
Well, Dr. Conrad, now you've dealt with guilt patterns before. Look, we know she didn't kill her mother, yet she honestly believes that she did.
And you think that she only believes she killed her father?
Yes, I think it's compulsive with her. She has to take the blame for every single thing that goes wrong. Now, look, we've got to find out what really happened that night. And to do it, I'd like to put her under narcosynthesis, inject sodium amytal. Maybe that way we can break through to the truth.
The police are satisfied with the confession, Landry.
Well, is this desk of yours so snarled up in red tape we can't cut it?
The day you answer for running this department, Landry, that day you can tell me what to do.
I keep thinking about Mary in the hospital. Maybe I ought to go see her.
Callie, I told you this before. She's in a prison hospital. That's the same thing as being in jail. I don't want you going anywhere near the police.
Think I'd tell him anything?
The way you've been acting since she confessed, there's no telling what you did.
Gee, I thought they questioned her. Maybe think she killed him in self-defense. But for her to give him a confession, what did she say she killed him for when she didn't?
So she's mixed up. What do we care? We're off the hook. That's what matters.
They convict her. What'll they do to her?
Oh, it'll all come out of the trial. Bellison was a lush. She kicked her around. She's a pitiful little kid. They're not going to go hard on her.
Oh, Sam, I can't stop thinking about it.
Now, you listen to me. If you've got to do any thinking, you think about us. And about keeping our mouths shut till this thing is over and then selling the bar and get out in here. You got that straight?
Yeah, I got it straight.
Hypnonarcosynthesis, truth serum, call it what you will, Doc. We don't need it. We got a confession.
Yeah, with 100 holes in it. Answers like, I don't know, I can't remember.
He remembered the important thing. She picked up the gun, she shot him, she told us the reason why. Landry, you'd be surprised how few killers can give us details. People don't always think clearly in the middle of a murder.
Lieutenant, these little details you're brushing aside. In Mary Bellison's case, they're symptoms. They're part of an amnesic barrier she's thrown up.
So you want to administer a drug so her subconscious mind will tell us the truth. Oh, look, Landry, I'm no kid. I've been through this before.
Lieutenant, will you please put in the request when you give me a chance to try narcosynthesis? That's the only way I can prove she's innocent.
This personal, huh? This is why it didn't come through channels from the hospital?
Yeah.
I see. The young psychiatrist and the pretty patient. Now it comes clear.
Oh, wait a minute.
I wonder how you'd feel if she was 40 and a little thick in the waist.
I wonder how you're going to feel if that innocent girl ends up in the chair.
Maybe Dr. Conrad at City Hospital. Doctor, this is Hanscom. I think we better have another talk with the Bellison girl.
Well, Mary, by this time tomorrow, you'll probably be well enough to be moved from here.
I know, to a cell. Will I ever see you again? I mean, do they allow visitors?
Of course you can have visitors. Me to come and see you?
You'd probably be too busy.
Mary, I could help you if you'd only trust me. Look, I know what it's like to be alone. You get lost, you scream in the silence where there's nobody to hear you. Finally, you just stop trying. But there is a way out. It's someone to turn to, someone who cares. Don't you see, Mary, I care what happens to you.
Anders, I thought I made it clear to you who was running the psychiatric department of this hospital.
Yes, sir?
When Lieutenant Hanscom told me what you'd done, I was pretty sore. I didn't like the idea of you going over my head like that, but you evidently got to him, at least enough to create some doubts.
Well, he certainly didn't show any when I was there.
Well, I'm going to see Mary later this afternoon. If I agree with your opinion of her, we'll try narcosynthesis.
When?
First thing in the morning.
Thanks, Dr. Conrad.
Well, you better not thank me till it's over. There is no guarantee with narcosynthesis. You know that. She may be hiding something, and we still might not be able to find her.
This will sting for just a minute, Mary. After that, you'll feel completely relaxed.
I don't want to do it.
Now, Mary, remember what I told you last night. You can trust me. Now, lie down, please. Now, Mary, I want you to start at 100 and count backwards. 100.
100.
99.
99. 98. 97.
96.
96. 95. 94.
93.
3.
All right, Mary, now you're completely relaxed. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Now, Mary, everything I ask you, you can remember. You're going to tell me about the night your father was killed. You took a walk that night, Mary. Where did you go? You took a walk that night, Mary. Where did you go?
Park.
Why there?
I like the park. Nobody looks at me. I'm not in the way.
Are you in the way at home?
Yes. My father says I cause trouble. I do bad things.
Did he tell you this the night you went to the park?
Yes.
What had you done that was bad?
tried to get a job. I came home without one.
Now, Mary, what happened when you walked in the apartment?
When I opened the door, all the lights were on. I was surprised. I knew he was going to the movies. But he was standing there with the gun in his hand.
The gun was in your father's hand?
I don't want to talk about it, please.
Now, Mary, you promised you'd tell me everything. What did he do then?
When he saw me open the door, he was angry. He began to shout. He said it was all my fault. I was ruining his life.
What happened then?
I thought he was drunk. I thought that he'd hurt himself with a gun. I ran toward the door.
The front door, isn't that where you were standing?
No, the bedroom door. It was closed. He was in front of it. I tried to get the gun away from him. It went off.
Is that how your father was shot?
It went off.
You told me that, Mary, but did it hit your father? Is that what happened?
I don't want to talk about it, please. It hit me.
Then, Mary, you did not shoot yourself. Now, Mary, what happened after you were hit?
I was falling. Falling. When I opened my eyes, he was lying there. He was dead.
Now, Mary, I want you to think very hard about the door to the bedroom. Are you sure it was closed when you came home?
Yes.
Now, Mary, after you saw your father on the floor, did you open the door?
No.
You're sure?
Yes.
All right, Mary, now I want you to listen to me and I want you to understand. You fainted after the first shot. You just told me that. And when you came to, your father was dead. Now, Mary, how could you have shot him? How could you have killed him?
I don't know.
Mary,
I don't remember.
You've got to remember. How could you have killed him?
No.
Now, Mary, don't fight me and don't fight yourself. If you killed your father, you can tell me how.
I don't know. I don't know. I killed him, that's all. I killed him. I killed him.
I'm just not sure what bringing her back here is going to do to her.
Well, she gave us one story in a confession, another under narcosynthesis. Then after the drug wears off, she goes right back to where she started. But maybe, Landry, if we have her reenacted here, we'll find out which one is right.
Oh, she was a lot closer to the truth in that hospital room, believe me.
Yeah, but she still kept insisting she killed him.
It's guilt. You let it build up layer for layer for 5 years, and you don't break it down so easily.
I think everything's about like it was that night. Come in.
Mary?
Miss Bellison, we brought you here because we want you to do something for us and for yourself.
What is it?
We want you to pretend this is the night your father was killed. It'll help Mary believe me. Now, you said you walked in the door and your father was standing over there and he began shouting at you. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Doc, stand over here for Bellison, will you?
Yeah.
Take it. Go ahead. Now, put it wherever it was when you first saw it. Now That's where it was when you first came in. Now, you said that your father began shouting at you. You ran over and you picked it up. Okay, pick it up. What happened then? Show me.
He tried to get it away from me.
How close did he get?
I don't know.
Did he get his hands on that gun?
No, I shot it.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, pull the trigger. Pull it. Did your father fall down then? And then what happened?
I saw what I'd done and I tried to kill myself.
Okay, you got the gun. Go ahead. Show us how you did it. Balance it for her, will you, Doc? It was about a foot from her shoulder. That's where she was wounded. Okay, pull the trigger. Doc, bring the gun forward so she can pull the trigger. That's 5 inches past your shoulder, Miss Bellison, and it's the same gun. Now, suppose we go back to the beginning and you tell us what really happened.
I can't think straight.
Tony. Well, you go back to the hospital and we'll talk to you again. You see, I told you she couldn't have killed him. Why? Because she couldn't have fired at herself. Did you see how well she handled that gun? Suppose they did struggle for the gun and that's how she was wounded. It still doesn't prove she didn't kill her father. That thing fires automatically, you know. What I'd really like to know is why this door was closed when she walked in and open when she came to.
Go to the cell?
Just a few more minutes, Mary.
Oh.
Why don't you take your sweater off?
All right.
Come on over here and sit down. Is there anything I can do for you?
No, thank you. The nurse said you weren't here today.
It's my day off.
I forgot. How long will they keep me there in jail?
I don't know. Look, Mary, do you still believe you killed your father, even after what happened yesterday?
I was so sure.
But you couldn't even reach the trigger. Now, you didn't try to kill yourself, don't you see?
I guess I couldn't have.
Yes, because there was nothing to punish yourself for. Isn't that clear now?
Nothing's clear. If I didn't kill him, I've gone over all of it, and I don't get anywhere. Maybe you should just give up and leave me alone.
I have no intention of doing that. Mary, I'm not going to lose you, no matter what I have to do or how hard I have to fight you. Now, you've got to go on searching and digging until you remember every single thing that's buried in your mind.
I've tried. I've tried ever since I left the apartment. I've gone over all of it, and I just get more confused. The only thing I remember is something about 5,000, but I don't even know what that means.
5,000 what?
Dollars, I guess. I don't know.
All right, is this something you heard? Who said it to you?
My father, I guess. I don't know.
Did he say it to you?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe when I opened the front door. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, maybe it will. I'll be right back. I want to speak to Lieutenant Hanscom, homicide.
Where would Mary get an idea like that? How could she have heard Frank talk about that much money? Well, I told you she was always an odd kid. She used to come up with all sorts of weird ideas.
Well, I was hoping you could help, Mrs. Bellison.
Sorry.
Yes, so am I. But she's beginning to remember. That should be encouraging news for you.
Oh, she is? Oh, that's good. Thanks for telling me.
Goodbye, Mrs. Bellison.
Did you hear this, Gene?
Yeah, I heard.
We gotta get out of here while there's still time.
We can't do that. That would just call the cops' attention to us.
We can't sit here and wait till they find out the truth. The confession's out the window. They know she didn't do it.
Listen, Callie, if Mary's starting to remember things, we gotta find out what things before the police.
How?
You go get some of your money, bail her out, take her to the apartment. Then come back here, leave the rest to me.
What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna talk to her, honey. That's all. Hi, Mary.
Well, what will it be? What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Oh, we just want a little more information, Mrs. Bellison.
I think I told you all I know.
We'll see. Suppose we begin by something that you told Dr. Landry.
I was kind of upset when I was talking to him. I don't remember what I said.
It was about the $5,000, Mrs. Bellison. You remember that, don't you?
Yeah, something about Mary remembered it. Is that it?
That's it. Why'd you say you'd never heard of it?
I hadn't.
Mrs. Bellison, you took $5,000 out of a bank the day your husband was killed and you put it back the next. Now, a thing like that doesn't just slip your mind.
Oh, I didn't know Mary was talking about that. That money we was going to use to remodel the bar, but well, I don't see how she could have known about a thing like that.
You were going to pay cash for the remodeling?
Yeah, you'd be surprised what it's like doing business in this neighborhood. Lots of people just won't take checks.
Why'd you put the money back the next day?
Well, Frank was dead. I was upset. I didn't want to go ahead with the plans.
Who took care of the money when it was out of the bank?
I did.
Anybody else know about the money?
No, just me and Frank.
And if he was shouting at someone about it, it had to be you.
How could it be? I was down here working all that night.
Till what time?
I don't know. It must have been about 2 when I closed up. Yeah, about 2.
Miss Bellison, a police officer named Tony Lerner checked the bar at 10:15 that night. The place was already closed.
That ain't true.
Let's not play games, Mrs. Bellison. We know that you asked your husband to stop by for you on his way home from a movie. Now, why didn't you wait for him? You must have had a mighty important reason for closing so early.
Well, I was upset. I wanted to get home.
Then why did you say it was just after 2 when you left the bar?
I did.
Mrs. Bellison, you went home and you killed your husband and you pinned it on your stepdaughter, and that's what happened, isn't it?
No, you don't understand. It's one thing to stop loving your husband, but I didn't mean Frank no harm. I didn't. I just wanted to get away with Jean. I thought I could be happier with Jean. I didn't know he was going to spoil everything.
Spoil it by killing Frank. That's it, isn't it?
Mrs. Bellison, where is Jean now?
He's in the apartment with Mary.
$5,000. Your old man never saw that much money in his whole life.
But I heard him say the words. I know I did.
Who do you think he was talking to, himself?
Dr. Landry asked me the same thing. I don't remember.
I think maybe you're just trying to back out. Next thing I know, you'll be telling me you didn't do it.
Oh, he doesn't think I did.
Your doctor friend. He tells a much different story when you're not around, kid.
What do you mean?
He thinks you're sick up here. He knows you killed him. It's just you keep getting the facts switched around. He's trying to get them straight.
No, he wants to help me.
Oh, Mary. Nobody can help you. You're guilty.
Guilty?
And you gotta be punished. Remember that?
When's Callie coming back?
Oh, she'll be up later.
We better go down to the bar.
You tried to kill yourself after you'd done it. Remember that?
No, I just thought I did, but they showed me I couldn't have.
You know better than that, Mary. You know you'd done it. If you just went through with it, and they found you dead, they'd be convinced. You'd show them, Mary.
What are you talking about?
You could prove you were guilty.
Okay, Gene. Your friend Callie's waiting for us down in headquarters.
Mary.
Oh, what happened, Dr. Landry? What happened? Oh.
I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty.
Mary, no, you're not guilty. You never were.